Harley, do you know that you have torn up every back seat I ever put in the van? Every pad I've put on top of the toolbox, you wrecked it. So now we got to resort to drastic measures and make one from scratch. Or at least whatever pieces we can salvage. You know that spot under the bed no one can see? Why not make something useful out of it? Well, like I said, the dog has teared up every seat I've ever put in here. So now I've crafted one out of a piece of carpet from underneath the bed, some cable ties, and an old baby mattress. We'll see how that holds up. Some people have a term for finding whatever you can, using whatever you can to make whatever you need. They call it one thing, but I call it something else. Practical engineering. And this is the mantra. We've been going so long with so little that we can make just about anything out of practically nothing. Years ago now, I had this job, and I was really good at it. This job was working for, who we'll call for this video purposes, my Uncle Sam. I worked for a patriotic organization, but along the way, I ran across some people who weren't quite so patriotic, who tried to recruit me into their organization, and along the way, spilled the beans, or some of them, basically, on what they were trying to do. Basically, the plan was to undermine this country, take over its sovereignty, freedom, and basic rights, so that all the power could end up in the hands of the elite. I went along with it for a little while. I was young back then, and I had no freaking idea what the hell they were talking about. But as things progressed and went on, I began to get a handle on where this plan they spoke of was heading. This organization was part of the system, but not part of the greater whole. In other words, they operated outside normal chains of command and never really answered to anybody that I ever ran across. However, at that time, they weren't really far enough along with all of their plans to be able to institute exactly what it was they wanted to do. There were still pieces to be put into place. One day, while laying underneath a particularly large piece of equipment, I got a real feel for what it was they were actually trying to do. So I yelled out, "Y'all are fucking crazy." Threw down my wrenches and walked away. Not that it was easy to get out of, But I definitely took my lumps along the way. But anything can be accomplished if only we're willing to try. But now here it is, years later, and it would appear that we are on the verge of either having everything they talked about implemented and come to pass, or it all being reversed. And unfortunately, there ain't no in between on this one. I know what you believe and what you've been told, and a lot of it rings true. And a lot of what you have been told has been let out there on purpose to draw you in, to make you susceptible to what it is they want to do. Then along came Donald Trump and upset the whole apple cart, or so it would appear. What do you expect? And it's shit or get time. It's time to play the game or get eaten by the game, should it come to that. Because there ain't going to be no sitting on the sidelines and just letting it happen. If you think you can weather that, I got news for you. It ain't going to happen. Some time with kids you don't run around with. So you might want to put on your thinking caps and be prepared to make whatever you can, however you can, out of whatever it is you can. For things that you might need. Because overall, there ain't no easy way out of this. One way or another, there will be disruptions. There will be interruptions. And more than likely, people you know are going to panic because of it. And should you find yourself one of or around people like that, it might cost you more than you might think. Most people are capable of more than they realize. But you have to know the prayer or the mantra. We've been going so long with so little that we can make just about anything out of practically nothing. And make it suitable for our needs.